I never thought I would be the one to say this on camera. But 3, I-Atlas is no longer behaving like a comet. Before we begin, I need you to do something for me. Comment your city name below and tell me, have you noticed anything unusual in the night sky? Patterns you can't explain? A hum you feel but can't hear? NASA is quietly collecting reports, and they want to know where these phenomena are being seen. What I'm about to share with you today may change the way you see humanity's place in the universe. Now, let me be very clear about what we're dealing with. I am a theoretical physicist. I have spent my entire life studying the fabric of space-time, the nature of consciousness, and the mathematics that govern the cosmos. I do not speak lightly, I do not sensationalize, but what is happening right now with 3I Atlas, this object from beyond our solar system, has left some of the brightest minds in astrophysics unable to sleep at night. 3 months ago, 3I Atlas was just another interstellar visitor. A comet, we thought. A wanderer from the depths of space passing through our neighborhood on its way to somewhere else. We've seen objects like this before. Oumuamua, Borisov. Travelers from other star systems drifting through the void. They come, they go, and we learn a little more about the universe each time. But 3I Atlas did something different. It's synchronized. Let me explain what that means, because when I first heard the data, I didn't believe it either. Deep beneath our feet, at the very center of our planet, lies Earth's core, a churning sphere of molten iron and nickel, rotating at its own rhythm, generating the magnetic field that shields us from solar radiation and makes life possible. This core has a resonance, a frequency, a kind of planetary heartbeat that has been measured and studied for decades. It operates at approximately 0.1010 Hertz, an impossibly slow oscillation, far below the range of human hearing, but detectable by the most sensitive seismographs on Earth. 2 weeks ago, instruments at the European Space Agency detected something that should not exist. 3. I-Atlas, which at that time was roughly 847 million kilometers from Earth, well beyond the orbit of Jupiter, began emitting a pulsed electromagnetic signature. Not random, not chaotic, but rhythmic, organized. And when the data was analyzed, the frequency matched Earth's core resonance to within 2%. That is not a coincidence. That is not statistical noise. That is synchronization. I have colleagues at NASA, at SETI, at the Kavli Institute, people who have devoted their lives to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. And I can tell you behind closed doors, they are terrified. Because this is not how natural objects behave. Comets do not tune themselves to the geophysical frequencies of distant planets. Asteroids do not broadcast coherent signals. And interstellar travelers do not, under any known law of physics, establish harmonic resonance with a world they are merely passing by, unless they are listening, or worse, unless they are calling. I want you to imagine something with me for a moment. Imagine you are standing in a dark forest at night. You hear nothing, you see nothing. But then, suddenly, every cricket, every frog, every nocturnal creature in that forest stops making noise at exactly the same instant. The silence is total. And in that silence, you realize something is watching you. You don't know what it is, you don't know where it is, but every instinct in your body tells you that you are no longer alone. That is what 3I Atlas feels like to the scientific community right now. We are the forest, and something just went silent. Now let me take you deeper into this mystery, because the synchronization is only the beginning. On April 14th of this year, a team of radio astronomers at the Arecibo Observatory successor site in Puerto Rico detected a secondary signal embedded within the electromagnetic pulses from 3I Atlas. It was faint, buried beneath layers of cosmic noise, but it was there, a repeating sequence, a pattern. At first, they thought it might be interference from Earth-based satellites, but the signal was too clean, too precise. It repeated every 37 seconds, without deviation, without drift. And when they ran it through spectral analysis, they found something that made the lead researcher, Dr. Elena Vargas, physically step away from her console. The signal contained prime numbers, 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, over and over, encoded in the modulation of the electromagnetic wave. Primes are the universal language of mathematics. They are the fingerprint of intelligence. Because there is no natural process, no stellar wind, no cosmic ray, no quantum fluctuation that produces prime number sequences. Primes are intentional. Primes are a message. And the message was coming from 3I Atlas. Dr. Vargas immediately contacted the International Astronomical Union. Within 48 hours, telescopes around the world were trained on 3I Atlas, Hubble, James Webb, the Very Large Array in New Mexico. And what they saw defied explanation. The object was not outgassing like a comet. It was not tumbling like an asteroid. It was rotating with perfect axial stability as if it were under active control. Its trajectory, which should have been a simple hyperbolic curve influenced only by the sun's gravity, was subtly adjusting. Small course corrections, micro burns that no comet could perform. 3I Atlas was navigating. I need you to understand the implications of this. We are not talking about a rock. We are not talking about ice and dust held together by gravity. We are talking about technology. We are talking about an artifact, an object that was designed, built, and sent into our solar system by something or someone with the capability to engineer on an interstellar scale. And it knows we are here. Now, here is where the story takes a darker turn, because once the synchronization was confirmed, once the prime number sequence was decoded, the question became, what is 3I Atlas trying to do? Is it observing us? Is it communicating? Or is it preparing? There is a hypothesis in xenobiology and astrosociology called the galactic quarantine theory. It suggests that advanced civilizations in the universe may deliberately isolate emerging species like us, until we reach a certain threshold of technological and ethical maturity. Think of it as a cosmic zoo where humanity is kept behind glass, watched but not contacted until we prove we can handle the truth. But what if the glass is about to break? What if 3I Atlas is not an observer, but a signal beacon? A kind of interstellar alarm system that activates when a civilization reaches a critical point in its evolution. And what if that critical point is now? Consider the state of humanity in 2025. We have artificial intelligence systems that can outthink human beings in narrow domains. We have quantum computers beginning to manipulate reality at the subatomic level. We have gene editing technologies that allow us to rewrite the code of life itself. We are standing on the edge of becoming a Type 1 civilization, a species that can harness the total energy of its home planet. But we are also a species at war with itself, a species poisoning its own atmosphere, a species that cannot agree on basic truths. And perhaps somewhere out in the galaxy, something is watching this moment, watching to see whether we will ascend or collapse. 3I Atlas synchronized with Earth's core on the same week that global seismic activity increased by 18%. Earthquakes in regions that rarely experience them. Volcanic tremors in Iceland, Japan, Indonesia. The magnetic poles of our planet, which have been drifting for centuries, suddenly accelerated their movement. Scientists at the British Geological Survey are calling it an anomaly. But they cannot explain why it is happening now unless it is not an anomaly, unless it is a response. What if Earth itself is responding to 3I Atlas? What if our planet, as a living electromagnetic system, is resonating with a signal from beyond? What if the synchronization is not just a broadcast, but a handshake? I have spent my career studying the possibility of parallel universes, higher dimensions, and the nature of consciousness. And I have always believed that the universe is far stranger than we imagine. It is stranger than we can imagine. But this is something I never anticipated, because it suggests that the universe is not just watching us, it is interacting with us, it is responding. And we have no idea what the response will be. Let me share something that has not been made public yet. 3 days ago, a classified briefing was held at the Pentagon. In attendance were representatives from NASA, the Department of Defense, the National Security Council, and a select group of theoretical physicists, myself included. We were shown data that has not been released to the press, data that, frankly, I am not sure the public is ready to see. The synchronization between 3I Atlas and Earth's core is not random. It is phase-locked. That means the two systems are now coupled. As Earth's core rotates, 3I Atlas adjusts its signal to match. And as 3I Atlas changes its frequency, Earth's core responds. It is a feedback loop, a resonance cascade, and it is intensifying. The models predict that within 6 months, the resonance will reach a critical threshold. What happens then, we do not know. Some scientists believe the magnetic field of Earth could destabilize. Others think we may experience a sudden, unexplained shift in seismic activity. A few, and I count myself among them, believe that something entirely outside our current understanding of physics may occur. A phase transition, a dimensional shift, a moment when the boundary between what we call reality and what lies beyond becomes permeable. In quantum mechanics, there is a phenomenon called quantum entanglement. Two particles, separated by vast distances, remain connected. Change the state of one, and the other responds instantaneously, faster than the speed of light. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But it is real. It has been proven in laboratories around the world. What if 3I Atlas and Earth are entangled? Not physically, but informationally. What if the synchronization is evidence of a deeper connection? A connection that transcends space and time? What if, billions of years ago, something seeded our solar system with the potential for life, and 3I Atlas is the timer, the signal that activates when the experiment reaches its conclusion? These are not wild speculations. These are questions being asked by some of the most rigorous minds in science. And the fact that we are asking them should tell you how far outside the boundaries of known physics this event has taken us. Now, I want to address something that I know many of you are thinking. You are wondering, if this is real, if 3I Atlas is truly an alien artifact, why has the government not told us? Why is this not on every news channel, every website, every front page around the world? And the answer is simple, because they do not know what it means. And they do not want to cause a panic over something they cannot control. But I believe you deserve to know. I believe that humanity, as a species, has the right to understand what is happening to our planet. Because this is not just a scientific discovery. This is a moment of cosmic significance. This is the moment when we learn whether we are children in a vast and ancient universe or whether we are something more. There is a concept in evolutionary biology called punctuated equilibrium. It suggests that species do not evolve gradually over time. Instead, they remain stable for long periods, and then suddenly they experience rapid bursts of change, explosions of innovation and transformation that happen in the blink of an eye, geologically speaking. What if civilizations evolved the same way? What if humanity has been in stasis for thousands of years, and we are now on the verge of a punctuation, a sudden leap forward or backward triggered by forces we do not yet comprehend? 3I Atlas may be the catalyst, the cosmic trigger that pushes us across the threshold. And what lies on the other side, I cannot say. No one can. But I can tell you this: the universe does not operate on human timelines. The universe does not care about our politics, our economies, our fears. The universe simply is. And if it has decided that now is the time for humanity to evolve or to be evaluated, then nothing we do will stop it. In the coming weeks, you are going to hear more about 3I Atlas. You are going to see reports, analyses, perhaps even official statements. Some will try to downplay it. Some will call it pseudoscience. But I urge you to pay attention, because the synchronization is real. The signal is real, and the implications are beyond anything we have faced as a species. I think often about the Fermi paradox and the question of why, in a universe teeming with billions of stars and planets, we have not yet encountered extraterrestrial intelligence. And I have come to believe that the answer is not that they are not out there. The answer is that they are waiting. waiting for us to reach a certain level of awareness, waiting for us to stop looking outward with fear and start looking outward with understanding. 3i Atlas may be the invitation, the signal that says you are ready. Or perhaps it is the warning, the signal that says your time is running out. Either way, we are no longer alone in the way we once were. The universe has made contact. And the only question now is, what will we do with that knowledge? I want you to think about your life. Think about the people you love. Think about the dreams you have, the fears you carry, the questions you have asked yourself late at night when the world is quiet. And I want you to ask yourself, if tomorrow we learn that humanity is part of something larger, something incomprehensibly vast and ancient, how would that change you? Would you live differently? Would you love more deeply? Would you finally understand that the petty divisions we create between ourselves are meaningless in the face of a cosmos that is calling out to us? Because that is what 3i Atlas represents to me. It represents the end of isolation, the end of the illusion that we are the center of existence, and the beginning of something new, something terrifying and beautiful and unknown. I have spent my life studying the stars. I have written equations that describe the birth and death of universes. I have stood in front of blackboards covered in symbols that most people will never understand, trying to decode the language of reality itself. And yet, standing here now, looking at the data from 3i Atlas, I feel like a child again. A child staring up at the night sky, filled with wonder and fear, knowing that something immense and mysterious is out there, just beyond my reach. But it is no longer beyond our reach. It is here. It is synchronized. And it is waiting. So I leave you with this question, a question that I cannot answer, but one that I believe defines this moment in human history. If the universe is speaking to us, if 3i Atlas is a message sent across the void by an intelligence we cannot yet fathom, what do we say in return? Do we respond with curiosity, with courage, with the best of what humanity can be? Or do we retreat into fear, into denial, into the comfortable lie that we are alone? The choice, I believe, is ours. But the clock is ticking, and the signal is growing stronger. Follow this channel as we continue decoding the universe's final warnings, because what comes next may redefine everything we thought we knew about existence itself. And perhaps, just perhaps, we are about to discover that the story of humanity was never ours alone to write.